Hello and welcome back to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Sprocket, West Kentucky, and KY Innovation. Welcome back to episode 267. So this week, we're going to go back and talk about two things that we've talked about at least once a year. Usually it's more often than that. But first is the annual report from IBM and the Podium Institute called The Cost of a Data Breach. This is the 2025 report that we're going to be talking about today. The second part of that is that we want to talk about some of the AI components that are in that. Yes, AI, if you haven't heard, artificial intelligence is a thing. And yes, I'm sure you've heard. But we want to talk a little bit about what it looks like or what it means from a security standpoint. So first of all, let me go over some of the highlights as it relates to what we're talking about. First of all, the global average cost of a data breach in 2025 was 4.44 million. That's a lot of money, but it's actually lower, a 9% decrease than what it was in 2024. So it's a little bit less. There's some reasons for that. Actually, AI on the being used by security teams actually might be part of why that number is. 97% of organizations reported an AI-related breach and and that they lack proper AI access controls. There was going back up here to the top. $670,000 was the cost added to a data breach because of shadow AI. If there was shadow AI, then it was going to cost more money to the data breach. Yes, shadow AI, meaning AI use without policies and procedures, cost extra money. There was savings, however, from AI. So from an extensive use of AI in security, it reduced that data breach cost by 1.9 million. So there's ways to save money. There's ways to lose money because of AI. Like everything in life, we want to make a blanket statement that AI is great or AI is bad. Everything is either great or bad. There's no middle ground. The reality is AI is a really cool, great technology that can be used for malicious intent. The internet is really cool, great, awesome technology that can be used to benefit society or can be used for evil intent. Everything is that way. Same way with AI. So what can we do with AI in mind to reduce our risk? So there's some things that in particular IBM highlights in one of their reports, things that we can do to minimize the risk associated with AI. Number one was fortify identity and access management. Whether we are using AI or just it's human interaction, our identity and access management needs to be strong. We should be leveraging multi-factor authentication. We should be using it everywhere that you can possibly use multi-factor authentication in your business life, in your personal life, anywhere you should be using multi-factor authentication, period. Also, I don't recommend that you grow your own when it comes to identity access management. There are known solutions out there. There are tools out there that have been tried and tested and work. Why not use them? Yes, it may cost, but as we're looking at, the cost of a data breach is much larger, and we want to make sure that what we're using, whether it's our human or non-human identities, that our systems are secure. Another one, review and reinforce cloud security. So why does this matter when it relates to AI? So let me explain this a couple of different ways. First of all, we all use cloud solutions now for most things. Frankly, even if you wanted to buy some license of different software packages, you're probably going to have to use um, a cloud option. I mean, that Microsoft Office, Microsoft doesn't want you to buy Office anymore. They want you to buy an annual license to Office 365. That's the way that a lot of these tools work. So um, that is also true of any AI tool that you're using. If you're using an AI tool, there is a pretty significant chance that your data is being sent through the cloud. It probably is, and that's okay. I'm not saying that that's bad. What I am saying is that you want to make sure that configuration in those third-party cloud interactions are keeping your data safe. For example, if you're putting your data into a AI tool, let's say it's ChatGPT, because that's one everybody knows. If you're using ChatGPT, is that data staying in ChatGPT, or is that data being, actually, that's not the right way to say it. Is that data staying in your tenant, or is that data being used to train other models? Or could another person, not part of your organization, have access and gain access to that data? Why does that matter? That matters because if you're putting sensitive, protected information into that system and somebody has access to that, then you may be in violation of like HIPAA. So you got to make sure that you're doing that. There's a number of ways to do that. Actually, AI enhanced automation is a way to help you with this. So again, I'm not saying that you have to discount AI altogether. Matter of fact, I am very pro AI, and I think you should use it where it makes sense. But keeping that in mind. Number 3, governance, risk, and compliance. I teach a class on governance, risk, and compliance. I think governance, risk, and compliance is very important, and I think that governance should focus on the development and deployment of AI systems. So we need policies, we need processes, we need controls to oversee how our organizations are using AI, developing AI tools. What are we doing with these things? What that really means is, I don't care if you're large or small, you need some basic oversight of how all of these things are working together. We need to make sure that what we're doing makes sense. Again, that shadow AI component adds $670,000 to our incident if that's what the issue is. This governance part, this GRC component here, is going to make sure, one, that we understand the depth and breadth of what's going on from an AI standpoint, but also, number 2, it's going to help us to ensure that we're in compliance with all of our required policies, procedures, regulations that we need to do that. And it's going to just keep an eye on what's going on. So if we're trying to evaluate the risk of our system, then having this governance piece is going to help us understand the components to consider risk. And then finally, education and training. I mean, we talk about education and training in all aspects, but what is also very true when it comes to AI is that it's a new thing. Most of our employees aren't doing bad things because they're mean. Most of our employees don't know the best practices or don't understand the threats. So they're looking at us to develop what those threats and best practices are. So we need to provide some education to our employees. We also need to develop and train our security team on the plans, playbooks, response strategies, and even test the things that we're doing. All of these things would help our employees and help our security team to ensure that we're responding to things in the best way, most efficient way possible. AI is a new technology, yes. Really, it's been here for a long time, but the generative part is new. People are using it a lot more than they ever have, and it's easy for us to secure it, but we have to be intentional about securing it. And I don't care if you're the owner, if you're a staff member, we all have a role to play, and I think that's really important to note. All right. Well, I appreciate your time today on 10 at 10. And if you have questions on this, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll see you back here next week on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.